friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Eagles are going to New Orleans. After dominating the Commanders in the NFC Championship game, the Birds will enter a rematch of Super Bowl 57 against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Will we have our revenge and stop the three-peat? Could Brandon Graham make his return? Will Kellen Moore be left behind in Louisiana? The Sixers hit a hot streak, winning 3 in a row. Tyrese Maxey drops 43 points against the Lakers. Joel Embiid may finally be nearing a return. Has the team worked themselves back into being buyers at the deadline? Could Morey make a move for Jimmy Butler? The Flyers beat the Devils on Monday. Sam Ersson will head to the Four Nations tournament amid injuries to Team Sweden. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
So far, so good. Just healing up now from the great weekend. Watching the Birds get it done.
Hell yeah.
Feels good. The city is above. Is, you know what I mean? Flying high, feeling good. I feel like every time you walk around, if you have any kind of Eagles gear on or just any green in general, people are just happy as shit to see you. You get a little Go Birds chant already, something like that. It just feels good to have everybody happy. Makes the 2-week period of a very long wait. It's the worst part. But being in Philadelphia makes it a lot better because everyone's just kind of happy and jazzed up right now.
Yeah, this 2-week wait, man. I forgot how insufferable it is.
Yeah, it's
even though we
brutal.
just went through this two years ago,
Yeah.
it already feels like it's been 3 weeks since Sunday's game,
know.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what
On the
I mean?
one hand, I am glad that they'll be able to get healthy, considering that patchwork offensive line we had going and stuff. And, you figure everyone's a little banged up or whatever. So that's nice. But it is the wait is excruciating.
It's grueling. And I feel like, too, in 2022, it was, you're just coming out of COVID. Shit wasn't really that popping off yet. It still felt a little uneasy. This is like the city is alive. It's a buzz. It's, even looking at the crowds all game, like after the game this Sunday were huge. It was like 2017. Where 2022, I don't remember it being that, like when they showed the drone footage of Center City, it wasn't as big. I feel like this Sunday felt like that 2017 year where everybody was out, everybody was excited. People are back in school, so all the schools are letting out. Like everybody is back in the city, and it just has that great energy and feel to it that you kind of need to carry you through this grueling 2-week period. I can't imagine how it is being a player for the Birds right now.
Well, like from the player perspective, right? Like I've listened to a bunch of podcasts. I think they were talking about it on Birds Huddle today too. Is the players, they treat this week like a normal week. Like you get your treatment, you get your walkthroughs, your practice. Because the next week, that's usually like Super Bowl media week. That's usually when the players, it's just exhausting. You're doing media night, you're doing interviews, you're doing all this.
I always remember
you're on Radio Row.
The Alshon Jeffrey interview.
Oh, that's the
like,
best, dude.
Like, what did he say exactly? It was just like, I hate this. He was just like, I hate this shit.
It's like, I think we should just go to just
I think
playing
it's
football.
pointless. Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a bunch of
Honestly,
bullshit.
I think it's a waste of time. Yeah.
Plus, they just had him at like a fucking folding table too. He wasn't even in like a booth.
Yeah, he wasn't
He's
like
just sitting there in his jersey, a beanie, and just dark sunglasses. Like, I don't even really want to be here. That was next to Marshawn Lynch. That was the ultimate. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Right there.
Yeah.
But nah, man. As you were saying, it's good to be in the city of Philadelphia. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that was crazy. Is I was at MagFest, which is right outside DC. You'd think there'd be a bunch of Commanders fans. So a couple nights I'm wearing Eagles gear. Like for a Saturday night, I'm wearing an Eagles hat. I probably get 5 or 6 Go Birds. I see a dude in a Kelly Green jersey. I'm like, hell yeah, that's my man. Then Sunday I'm leaving. I'm wearing my Eagles hoodie. And I got like the hotel staff telling me, go Birds, good luck to you. Just like, man, if I didn't know any better, I'd think I was in Philly. I'm right outside of D.C. I didn't see a single Commanders jersey. No one with any Commanders swag. No one saying, let's go commies or whatever they say. None of that. It was just...
raise hell.
They were all taking it over the heart.
Is that their thing?
That's apparently that's their thing.
That's
so
funny.
I think that may have been just one of those season motto hashtag things that teams do now. It's like every year they have a new little whatever.
That's horrible.
I feel like they're
ours is Let's Hunt, which I also think is kind of lame to be honest. But,
right now, but that's not but Go Birds is like a universal just easy.
Where
But
I don't know.
And Go Birds is forever.
I guess the Commanders are still kind of new. I feel like they haven't found their little thing yet. There's no Go Birds equivalent.
No, I mean you're watching like a fledgling little bird try to figure out how to leave the nest. They're like
It's not really.
You have too many different people trying to be the one to create the anthem for their
like
team.
hail to the Commanders doesn't really have the same ring to it.
Yeah, hail
I don't
to
think
the
that
commies.
works.
No.
Yeah.
You know they didn't say anything
Although
about
maybe
the
now it
commies.
kind of makes sense because
DC.
the way DC's going, it could probably work out. But I don't know. It's just they ain't got that. They had a good history for them. Obviously, things had to part ways that way, but now it just is even more pitiful. You can't lose to a team that has no fucking aura about them. It's just
No,
a
that's
soft ass team,
that
man.
team
The
has
Hard Rock Cafe.
The Hard Rock Cafe is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
of all places to take over. The Hard Rock Cafe.
The fucking tailgate Ted giving that
Ted.
speech like he's fucking General Patton storming the beaches or some shit. I love that.
Pathetic. But good for them. You know what I mean? They did do what they did. They did what they came here for. They
I
took
love
over the Hard Rock.
I just love how many people here were not even aware that there is a Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, people are like, where the fuck is that at?
I walk by it a lot, but
I know where it's at, but like no one. I've gotten a beer there to wait for. I don't know. Maybe Hannah had something up the street, so I was like, well, it's the only bar within 10 feet, so I'll go get a beer here. But like, I'm not. Nope. No one's going there to hang out or get a beer or eat or anything like that.
More people probably go to like the Chili's around the corner.
Yeah, but it's like if there's a convention happening, maybe some kind of weird HR convention or some freaky shit like that, maybe. But like, yeah, that's the easiest place to take over because no one fucking goes there.
Yeah, Eagles fans, we're gonna be heading to New Orleans in a couple weeks. We're gonna take over the Macaroni Grill.
No,
But
we're gonna be just swarming the Olive Garden, taking that over.
Is there even an Olive Garden? There probably isn't an Olive Garden in New Orleans.
I feel like they got them
I feel
everywhere.
like that's sacrilege to have a. No disrespect to the Olive Garden, but
it's honestly not the
maybe in
worst.
New
the
Orleans is one of the
district?
best food cities in the country.
Maybe in the business district, but not in like the fun part of town.
Not in like Frenchman.
Even the business
on
district
Frenchman
has
Street.
some good food now, though.
But that's kind of like stuff. Like it's not at. That's where I would picture it being. I doubt they're gonna have an Olive Garden near Bourbon Street or on Magazine Street.
True. Yeah.
It's not going to be on any good historical.
Yeah, if they have one, or it's 20 minutes outside of the city.
It's going to be off the beaten path, like some random fucking corporate little center bullshit.
You take one of those swamp tours and you start at one end and then you finish at the Olive Garden on the other side of the swamp.
Hey, you got to get the endless breadsticks after you feed the gators.
Get some gator jerky.
It's like, do you think gators like bread? They probably eat it. You could
What they like is marshmallows.
Yeah, they probably like bread.
That was when I went on the swamp tour. I may have told this story before when we were talking about New Orleans, but like when I did that swamp tour thing, they would put marshmallows on a stick to get them to come up to the surface. Not because they particularly like marshmallows, but just because it's very easy for them to see. And so they come up and get them.
That makes
sense. I guess they're relatively harmless for alligators.
Yeah, isn't there a meat in like there's some
gelatin?
Gelatin, that's right.
I remember when I was a vegetarian, no marshmallows,
Yeah, I remember you're a vegetarian. What? You don't remember that?
Yeah.
No,
that was long before we met.
I don't mind the whole whatever you want it to be before, but you can't eat. We're talking about you can't eat marshmallows if you're a vegetarian.
It's got gelatin.
The fuck?
No marshmallows, no Jello, baby. Can't have that.
What?
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I never
Once you're like vegetarian, you find out like how much other shit there's animal products in. It's really annoying.
Wasn't there a thing where European beers have some sort of animal fat in them or something?
Some of them use like fish. I know Guinness is not vegan, technically.
Yeah, I thought so.
There's stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think they use like something with like fish oil or some shit like that. I don't know.
Gotcha. Anyway.
Anyway, fuck them vegan little alligators. But yeah, man, we're going back down to the bayou. Last time we went down there, the offense looked pretty good, I will say. So hopefully do the same thing, which would be great on that turf.
Well, we can talk more about the game, previewing the game next week. But hey, you know what's not going to happen? The Sodfather is not getting us this year. Nope.
Is he dead or no?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of at the very least be retired after that fiasco.
Yeah, he probably had to. He probably
forced him to retire.
He probably had to resign. Whatever.
Took him outside behind the barn, and now he's at a farm upstairs.
but now, I mean, I guess where do we? Let's talk about. We can talk about the Super Bowl next week.
Yeah, let's talk about
recap
championship game, historic weekend, most points ever scored in a championship round, highest scoring game in the championship round since 1991, which is great. Buffalo, unfortunately, that was you, but we know what happened that year. You didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but
I say I'm like, part of me is kind of glad that it's the Chiefs and not Buffalo, just because I would like have a heart. I would kind of feel bad about rooting against Buffalo because they kind of deserve.
you
You
know?
know what I mean?
It's
I would not like literally.
I know what you mean,
but you know what I mean. Like it's
feel
very
better-
easy. Have a nice hateable team.
Sure, I get you.
That's
Right.
nice.
You're fighting against the evil empire, fighting
Yeah.
against the three-peat. Where Buffalo, you're like, man, like they could get their first
Like I have
one,
nothing
but-
against Buffalo or the Bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like we're a lot alike. They're
Right,
like our,
yeah.
they're like our kid. I feel like we're
That's our sister
cousins
cities
or
as
something,
far
base,
as
you know?
kinda, yeah.
They
as
happen
far
to
as-
be in a different conference. They're kind of got the same vibe. They're just more snowy and buffalo-y. But an Eagle, Buffalo, they kind of have this. They kind of give off the same kind of shit. To be honest with you, I feel like that's kind of the same vibe. So
How are you going to say an eagle and a buffalo are the same?
I feel like when I picture a buffalo, I can picture an eagle flying like onto its little horn and sitting on there waiting for something.
I think that's a stretch.
I don't- They kind of give off the same thing. Anyway, we're never going to see it happen because they couldn't get the job done, but we did.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to y'all's point, going back to 2017, if we had ended up playing the Jaguars and beating them in the Super Bowl, don't get me wrong, I still would have been exhilarated, right? Like I still would have lost my mind. I still would have cried and lost my voice for a week. But there was something special about beating Brady.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
seeing
God.
him sitting on the turf after throwing that Hail Mary and losing. Then Malcolm Jenkins slapping his ass. Come on, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Tom. And then to this day, Brady was in the broadcast booth still saying, Nick, you caught it. I didn't. I'm jealous. He's still upset about that. So, yeah, like beating the Jaguars, it would have been fun in 2017. Beating Brady was a whole lot more fun. And same thing this year. If we are able to beat the Chiefs, which we'll talk about how we feel about that game next week, but if we are able to beat them, it's going to feel a lot more rewarding than beating the Bills. Beating the Bills still would have been fun,
Yeah.
but so it's not the same.
Yeah, well, we can get right into it then. You know what I mean? Great energy all day. Beautiful, beautiful weather out. There was. Good food at the tailgate.
Yeah, what y'all have was on the
We
menu.
had a little hot ham sandwiches, little mac
Ham.
and cheese, wings, obviously, pretzels, normal spread. We got some cupcakes and shit like that. But it was hard to eat. I feel like everybody was so anxious or just excited. I wasn't anxious because I thought we were gonna, lose or like I was worried about the game. It's just you're kind of so revved up all week to get to that point, and then you're like, okay, here it is. Like everyone's just kind of hanging out, excited. People are showing up. Everyone's asking how you feel about the game and shit like that. So it's just more excitement than anything. But Tailgate was a good time. Get in there. Energy's great, popping off in the link. Washington has a nice, long, steady drive. Classic Vic Fangio, bend, don't break on the first drive.
Yeah, that first drive I felt great after that, just
Same.
because of the decision to kick that field goal, which is
Yeah.
kind of baffling to me. They converted on 2 different fourth downs, and they get
Long fourth downs, too.
yeah,
Fourth and five.
then they
Yeah.
get so far, knowing you're going up against like a Eagles offense or whatever, and you just had to kick the field goal. I was like, yeah, that's great. I feel great about that.
Plus, man, it took them 18 plays to go 54 yards, and that's all they do. An 18-play drive for 54 yards and just a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes so much momentum out of your offense and kind of just shows, you don't really trust us.
And then the perfect response, first offensive play of the game. Saquon breaks one off for a touchdown.
Yeah,
that was
right?
so perfect.
That was right in our end zone,
After they have
too.
this long, slogging, methodical drive that ends in a field goal, we're just like, we'll just do a touchdown in one play, thank you.
Yeah, they averaged
Unreal.
3 yards a play to kick a field goal to get 3 points. We averaged 60 yards a play to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Even Slay was like, I was really excited, but I was also kind of pissed off that, like, we had just had an 8-10
Yeah,
minute
they gotta
drive.
go right back
and
out.
We get raised, like, I'm celebrating. I'm like, all right, Slay, save your energy. You got this, man. Like, they had to go right back out there. And they did okay, but, yeah, that was a hell of a way to start. I tell you what. I mean, I feel like we've said that all playoffs, right, against everyone that we've played, given the way the offense has been moving a little bit, is that, like, as long as we start off hot, there's no way you can't beat this team.
Yeah.
Same with Washington. Even we were like, if we keep it close, I'm kind of nervous if you give the ball to Jaden Daniels 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We'll see what happens on a close game. But they didn't even let him sniff the fucking score.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think one thing that I noticed right away was that first play for the Eagles is like the play call. It was just a sign of things to come with the game because the play call was pretty unique. Like you see Hurts under center,
Mm-hmm.
then he steps back as if he's in shotgun to like kind of fake it. Then he motions Devontae. And then like if you watch like the All-22, like I've seen some film heads post this, like when you watch the All-22, Devontae's motion draws like a linebacker or a safety. It draws someone to the other side. And then you have Saquon start running as soon as the ball snapped and Hurts hits him with the flip. Half the defense is shifting the other way because of Devontae. Leaves most of that left side of the field open. And then Saquon's just Saquon. Makes two dudes miss. Spins out of a tackle, and then he's just gone, dude. I felt like I was watching him. I didn't really watch college football like that, but you remember watching him in the Rose Bowl against USC? I have flashbacks to that, dude. Just that crazy run. It was vintage Saquon. And after that, you knew we weren't going to lose.
It's so funny you forget that he's, his 7th year in the league. And, all credit to and respect to Derrick Henry for doing his thing as well. But, when he's going on for a long run, you're, it looks like a train on a train track. You're feeling it's damn, he's fast, but he's just kind of big and clunking away. Saquon, as soon as he gets done his little spin move in that first 10 or 15-yard mode, he is gone.
Yeah.
He's like Forrest Gump out there running. I mean, it's incredible to see for being so strong and powerful when you're in all that contact zone. To be able to break away as soon as he finds that little sense of green, it's insane. It's the best. Yeah. It's the best. I've never seen anyone this good in my life in person to do it multiple times.
No.
It's not just one big game. Everyone remembers LaShawn McCoy having that crazy-ass snowball game. And he was electric here and there, but he never really had, consistent games in a row that were holy shit. Every week we're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, he's just a physical force. I mean, just the way that his cutting ability and the way that he can just accelerate on a dime is just nuts. In that first play, he got past the first line or whatever, and I guess it was the safety that was cutting, and it's unless you're taking the perfect route to him, you're toast. He's gonna accelerate second. And he just blew right by him. Mm-hmm. They have to be perfect to take him down.
And even at that, you gotta he's so, I'm gonna pause real quick, but he's so thick down low that even if you do have the perfect line, there's a good chance he's blowing right back.
He's just gonna bowl you over. Yeah, right. Or the spin move, he's so agile for someone that big too. He can just, the backwards hurdle, stuff like that. Someone that big shouldn't be able to move. Is just what's the word? With so much agility. And just so much speed, and then to accelerate once he hits the open field, it just doesn't make any sense. But hey, man, Saquon Barkley, he's ours, dude.
That was a clear once that happened, the link it was. You had a feeling that okay, the first play of the fucking game for the Eagles offense, they're popping off like this. Defense, unfortunately, had to come back out, but I don't think I had a waver of doubt at all once Saquon ripped that all the way down there.
No, and then the defense comes back. Did they force a turnover the next drive?
I think, didn't they have that?
Is that the one where Bond popped it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone popped the ball
Brown
out.
had it. And...
Yeah, this defense, man. So, Nick Sirianni, speaking to the media, I guess it was yesterday, said, y'all remember Charles Tillman, Peanut Tillman, the master of that peanut punch? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Nick Sirianni said at the start of the season, they had the defense watch, or maybe even the whole team, because the last game you had Will Shipley and Kenny Gainwell force some fumbles.
Yeah.
Sirianni said the whole team watched every Peanut Tillman force fumble. Mm-hmm. And it shows in just the way that the entire team, running backs included, are out here forcing fumbles, popping balls out. So even though Washington was kind of moving the ball a little bit, I never had a doubt, because I'm thinking, they're going to force a fumble here. They're going to force one there. Even going back to last week, the Rams game, I remember we were watching it at 12 steps, and right before Jalen Carter forced a fumble, I remember I turned around, said to Steve, shout out Steve, I was like, yo, Jalen Carter is going to force a fumble here. And sure enough, the very next play he did.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have so much confidence in this defense just to make the big plays. It might be a sack. It might be an interception. In this game, it was, 3-4 forced fumbles.
4 turnovers.
Yeah, there was the interception at the end of the game, too.
Yeah, the Quignon.
So, you figured they came into the playoffs, maybe even coming into the Rams game, they had 14 forced turnovers in the last 4 games. And since then, they've added another 7.
Yeah.
Maybe 8.
10 in the playoffs in 3 games.
They might not have, they may only, in the grand scheme of things, have 3 or 4 sacks a game, that's fine. But the amount of pressure that they're applying to the quarterback and the aggression that this team is showing is insane. The flying to the ball. There's always 2 or 3 guys on the birds whenever someone catches it. There's rarely ever any yak when someone has the ball in their hands from the other team. And when they do run around, it kind of reminds me of watching Malcolm Jenkins pop fucking Brandon Cooks. You want to run around a little bit and try to gain a couple extra yards, we're either going to clobber you or pop the ball out.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels did that same thing. He tried to get some extra yards. Bang, ball came right out. Good to go. And special teams. We haven't had a special teams this aggressive since.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess Phipp was good on the blocking side. I don't think we ever turned the ball over from a tackling standpoint. But whatever they got going on in that locker room right now from a special team standpoint, to have that turnover 2 weeks in a row within the 20-yard line with this offense, that's a huge change of momentum.
Yeah.
It's insane because most of the time we're coming off a touchdown already. You're kicking the ball off. You pop it out. You score again. What?
Yeah. I mean, you're up were we up 14-3?
Yeah.
Like, before you know it, if we're up 14-3, I'm like, yeah, there's no way we're going to lose. Washington did kind of make it interesting, but I remember sitting there looking at the score at halftime. I'm like, damn, we already got 27 points. They only have 15, and we get the ball back to start the half.
Yeah.
It's over. I mean, and Kellen Moore was in his bag, dude.
Yeah, that'd be his best game of the year for sure, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a little pissed off that Dallas went the other way
Yeah, that's
what, but
yeah,
I mean...
See, I feel like this was, maybe by design that, all year they were like, we're going to, not going to open the whole playbook, blah, 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 just to keep Kellen Moore from looking too good so he doesn't get any of these coaching jobs,
He might still mess around and get one now.
I mean, no, he's still
To be honest, though,
but...
they could have kept it pretty white bread, and they were just scoring at will. I mean, every motion set, every whatever, whether you're doing a weird pitch to a tight end or a pitch to fucking Devontae.
Yeah, they were using like Goddard on those sweeps.
They were still
he had
getting
like 2 carries.
Yeah, but they're getting 8 yards.
Devontae had 1 too.
8 yards of play for that shit. Like, it wasn't even anything sexy. It was just like, okay, here's a pitch. You can see what they're doing. We're going to go the same exact way, but now give it to Devontae. And he would still get 8-10 yards.
Yeah, or like they would run a lot of like these jet motions into boots.
Mm-hmm.
You have Hurts outside the pocket a little bit where you can see the whole field. You have A.J. Brown open for a comeback route, a hitch route.
A lot of 4 verts, but like they were all just hook routes. They weren't. It wasn't a big 80-yard bomb. It was just, okay, we're going to go 15 yards, turn around, boom, got him. I mean, whatever could go wrong went wrong for Washington, and we were just clicking on all phases of the ball, even with your point in the beginning with the fucking patch job O-line.
Yeah. Which, shout out to Juergens and Dickerson.
Big time.
Yeah. That's wild,
Yeah.
man. You seen Dickerson, like, he could barely walk. They had his leg in that brace. They showed it on TV. He was limping around on the sidelines. He's still coming out, snapping the ball and blocking dudes. That's a tough man, dude.
Yeah.
And then Juergens comes in because Dickerson can't play anymore. They showed Juergens after the game. He could barely walk.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude, these guys just gutted it out, and we're going to the Super Bowl largely because they stuck in there. I mean, not for nothing. I think Stoutland University would have coached up Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen actually played pretty well, but whoever, Fred Johnson's coming in, whatever backups are coming in, I think we'd have been okay. But shout out to those guys, man. I don't know if the Eagles win that game if their offensive line isn't just beast mode.
Yeah.
You seen the clip of my Lotto on the Saquon run where he's just laughing?
Oh, yeah, the whole time.
There was also funny on that where he ended up sort of pancaking A.J. Brown afterwards.
3
He was
guys.
like, I'm sorry, man.
He's like, you around too many other commanders, so I just figured.
Also, another A.J. Brown kind of underrated part of his game is his blocking ability.
When he wants to.
Yeah.
Well, he's so big, too. I mean, most guys he's going up against, he's going to win that battle 1-to-1, say no more. But, and to your point that the O-line, I think they said even going into the Super Bowl now, it's the largest starting O-line in the history of football.
Yeah.
Weight-wise.
I said a couple weeks ago, our big beefy boys.
Yeah, but truly beefy.
Yeah.
And shout out Mekhi Becton, too.
Yeah.
True gem to find. 5th year as fifth year in NFL to go from, pretty up and down ride in the NFL, and now you're a Pro Bowler, damn near all pro in my eye. Solid pickup like that, and to now play in your first ever. He was
crying when we made the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you fucking. I never
remember that.
Half those guys are like, I didn't know you won a fucking T-shirt when you win the division, and now he's like got the divisional round, the conference championship, Super Bowl. They got to bring him. He's only on a 1-year deal too.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. He's probably going to make more. We'll see.
We got to see how we can work that magic. There's a lot of guys on 1-year deals now.
We got to keep on. We've been saying that for months.
Yeah, another strong game for him.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that struck me was Saquon blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Like Saquon was blocking in pass pro, and when
a lot of those QB draws,
when
he
the
was
one
lighting them up.
QB draw Hurts scored on, Saquon pancaked Frankie Louvu.
Yep.
Which Frankie Louvu, man, I'm glad you're going to Cancun, you dirty bitch.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that tush push sequence.
that was hilarious. That was really annoying, but it was hilarious.
It was hilarious, and like when we were watching at the bar, I didn't quite get the whole thing where the ref came out and said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at that afterwards, that was one of the funniest things. I did not realize that was a rule. I didn't realize that the ref could sit there and say, if you guys don't knock it off, we're going to turn this car around. Basically,
yeah, that was wild.
It was like, damn.
When they said that in the game, we would all just start cracking. I mean, I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, hell yeah, I'm like, because that way it's a touchdown either way. Either going to get the tush push, or
it also was just with how angry the tush push makes the rest of the NFL fans around the league. Just the fact that they were almost going to just give us the points.
Yeah.
How pissed off that would have made everyone is just fucking chef kisses right there.
The rule has never been enforced in the NFL, and it was only ever created for. They said it on the Good Morning Football. I forget it was Kyle Brandt. Maybe had addressed it, but it was created back in college in like some 1950 something like Cotton Bowl era, where. Because the rule itself is like completely unpredictable play that throws off the game, whatever the verbiage is, right?
Yeah.
But the play that called that off is there was a long run where someone, I think it was Rice versus Alabama or some shit like that. A running back is running all the way, pretty much going to get a touchdown. Like he's breaking away like a Saquon 60-yard touchdown. A player from the other team's bench runs out and tackles the guy, and then runs back to the bench like nothing happened. So the refs were like, and they ruled it a touchdown because they were like, that would have never happened. Like,
you can't run off the bench to do that.
So they made a rule of like any kind of like random outside factor that would stop a play is going to give this. So that was the only time it's ever been called. It made the rule, and then they carried it to the NFL, but no one's ever had to use it. And we got close, to seeing it.
I feel like that ref must have been having such a good time. It's like, oh, I finally get to whip this out. I finally get to pull this out. Damn.
Yeah. It's like Section 2, whatever the fuck it is.
All the other refs are so jealous. They'll be like, I've always wanted to call that. Like,
Bill Belichick's like, I fucking knew that shit, too. What the fuck? Yeah, but yeah.
If he would have called it, I would have become an official ref guy.
And they have they have an actual video. It's like black and white, and you see the guy like on the bench sitting like this with no helmet on, and he's like, "What the fuck?" and gets up and runs and tackles this dude, and then gets back on the bench and nothing happened. He's like,
"Yeah." Oh man, that's hilarious.
That reminds me, the only other similar thing I can kind of think about is when I've seen once or twice in hockey where if like a play is really fucked up and it looks like the other team is going to score, the goalie will just take their mask off so that they have to blow the play dead. Like I saw that happen once. I guess that's probably illegal now or whatever, but
Mike Tomlin used to do that shit though. Wasn't Mike Tomlin a proponent of like standing way too close on the sideline on kickoffs? And like he got in the way of somebody that one time.
I vaguely remember what you're talking about.
He didn't touch the player, but he got close enough where the player like did a second guess and then got tackled.
Yeah, he would stand like toe on the white basically of the sideline.
So it's a rule that's in there, but it's never been. I don't think it's officially ever been called in the NFL. It's only been called once in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was too funny.
Very much like a college thing.
But even with that, I mean, it was to beat a team. I think we're all pretty confident in the game coming into it, if I remember the last pod correctly.
Yeah. Well, dude, speaking of
my
prediction, I had the fucking margin right. Yeah. I just had the numbers wrong. I thought that was like a joke, basically. But I was like, damn, I should have put some money on minus 130, 31 and a half. Yeah. I could have made fucking bank on that.
32 fucking points. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I forget. I guess.
I also saw that we had 7 rushing touchdowns. I think someone was saying that that's like the
most since 1940.
Well, I think they also said that was the same as the total rushing touchdowns that the Cowboys got all season.
Yeah, it was more. It was more. Yeah,
that's wild.
More than the combined rushing touchdowns that they had.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere like midway through the third quarter. I was like, yeah, we're gonna put up a 50 burger.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sure enough, Will Shipley, man, to cap it off. Shout out to Will
finally
Shipley.
Got his, and he had that forced fumble too, right?
Yeah.
In the Rams teams,
and he had it this game too.
Oh, he did again.
Yeah, no, I think he had
remember
one.
that
was him.
Oh, you're right.
On the kickoff, that was him. That
you're
that
right.
Turnover. He's been a little fucking rat on this team.
He's another one of the exciting whites.
Mm-hmm. He looked like more like a little Neanderthal, but I'm into it. Every time he runs it, like the Tasmanian devil running down the thing. I said, "Oh, damn, okay."
It was kind of funny. Ali he had that bread, and it was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get another big." And it's like, "Nah, he's not. He's not Saquon. He's not quite as fast."
Yeah. But then he did score a couple plays later.
He did. I feel so good for him to get that touchdown.
I know, because I remember earlier this season he thought he had one and it got called back on a penalty. It was like, that must be so annoying. Think you're getting your first NFL touchdown.
And that was a rip. He actually had that was like a 35-yard run.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out to Oren Burks.
Yeah, he's been looking good stepping in there.
2 forced fumbles this postseason alone.
Yeah, dude, he had 9 total tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble.
Dude, Nolan Smith.
Yeah, Nolan Smith,
already
my
has
boy.
the record for the
4 sacks.
most sacks in a playoff. What's it called? Run or whatever it is.
Yeah. And then even Jordan Davis's sack was in a big moment.
Oh my God, he smothered it, and that was a deep sack too.
Yeah, he lost like 10 yards, and like, no disrespect to him, but that's a big man to be chasing down someone as fast and agile as Jaden Daniels. Good for him.
The funny thing is watching that too. Like Jaden Daniels, all he had to do was just. It's like when a rhino's charging at you. I mean, that's never happened to me in person, but they always say, like, you wait till the last second and then just move out the way. Like, he just kept going backwards. I'm like, this man's going to get his ass. And he did. He just kept going straight back and just 10-yard, negative 10, 12-yard play.
Yeah, no, that was huge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so many big plays. The A.J. Brown catch on 4th down.
Dude, yeah, that was great.
That really helped blow the game open. That was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the play of the game.
And I'm thinking as they're lining up for it, 4th and 5. Sirianni's going to try to draw him off sides. It's the same thing he's been doing all year.
Yeah.
All year. Then they snap the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hurts. We haven't even really talked about Hurts.
Yeah.
That throw was spot on, dude. Right on the money.
He was great against the... I mean, I feel like the Washington strategy in this game was like, okay, we see like, what Todd Bowles has been able to do to Hurts and stuff with all the blitzes and stuff. And I feel like that was kind of their plan. They were blitzing a lot, and they were beating the blitzes with some of the creative play calling, those like sweeps and stuff, but also just able to get the ball out quick and all that kind of stuff.
Hurts has a knack to have a deep ball that, I'm not gonna lie, it is one of the prettiest deep balls in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, it consistently
put it right in his hands.
It consistently hit. I mean, anytime, this is just my whole thing of watching Eagles football is that like anytime a quarterback loads up, you're like, oh fuck, he's gonna throw it more than 20 yards. I already mentally get stressed out, but like 9 times out of 10, this shit lands right in the fucking breadbasket.
Yeah.
And it helps that it's going to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but like, it's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we almost forgot how good Hurts is at those deep balls just because of last season, how they were trying to rely on it so much with all the 4 verts and just like, they know it's coming, they're going to cover it and all that kind of stuff. You kind of forget that he's actually really fucking good at throwing that deep ball.
Yeah, I mean, he had the quote saying they finally took me out my straitjacket.
The straitjacket.
Because, I mean, like this is what like we've been saying the last couple of weeks is the passing game, the lack of consistency isn't just a Hurts thing.
No.
I mean, that quote is pretty telling that he's saying, it's not really made.
I mean, I don't think we've ever been looking at that as like a Hurts problem because we've seen him do it. We've seen the team pass the ball really well, and it was kind of like, why are they, holding themselves back? But this game, it was just offense unleashed,
And you take away the 4 or 5 balls that he threw away, he was 20 for 24.
Yeah.
I mean, he was crazy. Accurate as fuck. A couple drops here and there, but you take away the throwaways, he was hitting the guys wherever he needed to hit them up.
Mm-hmm.
And running the ball well. 3 rushing touchdowns again. I mean, he's our guy, man.
Knee looked fine to me.
Yeah. What Dean say? Dean said a possible PCL, LCL, MCL, or quad tendon strain. I don't think Hurts had any of that. If he had any of that, they must have doped him up real good because he was running with authority. Yeah. That QB draw he scored on, that was nasty, man.
I mean, it's a beautiful... Whenever you're watching whether you're watching Baldy or whoever else wants to break down those plays the last couple of weeks, that QB draw where the offensive line just opens up perfectly. Saquon's cutting through the middle, lays out a fucking linebacker. I mean, it's poetry in motion right there. Then you got Hurts coming up there too. What are you going to do? I mean, he's still a number 1 athlete. It's great to see, and it's very exciting to watch. I think this is the perfect way to go into a Super Bowl week. You know, he didn't just come out there and eke it by a 7 seed team. You know, Jaden Daniels, this and that, and he's throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like, you dominated the game.
That's all we know how to do, man. If it's NFC Championship game, it's going to be a blowout.
Apparently,
last 3.
Those stupid fucks, they put that shit on the trophy, and the fucking curse link's on.
The Rocky statue.
Yeah. They fucking did that shit again.
That's like 0-4 now.
Well, what you learn.
Yeah, the Eagles in their last 3 NFC Championship games have won by 87 points combined.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's wild, man. But yeah, I mean, a lot of momentum going into the Super Bowl.
I thought they were going to run out of fireworks for a minute. I said, they still got shooters up in here?
Yeah.
Had to
it was funny. I remember earlier in the week, too, when it was reported that the Commanders were playing the Eagles fight song during their practice. And I was like, I guess they wanted to get used to what it was going to sound like in there, getting all those touchdowns scored against them.
They probably all knew the lyrics and were singing along on the sidelines.
They were crying like, fly, Eagle.
Yeah. Hearing that song in their fucking nightmares now.
Probably hit the Hard Rock after the game.
Mm-hmm. Probably still empty.
Yeah, and requested them to play it. Nah, man. Fun game.
Quignon, 2 picks in a row. Phenomenal grab.
2 games.
McLaurin check
that
again.
Was sick. And then you seen he made fun of his
the mocking McLaurin. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, man. This team just has, you know, you compare it to the 2022 season, right? We talked about the upgrades of defensive coordinator. We talked about the upgrade to running back. You know, no more James Bradbury. You have Quinyon Mitchell. Linebacker, kind of even. TJ Edwards was the man. He wasn't defensive player of the year conversation, but you know, I would say
this team's linebackers.
I would put these linebackers
definitely.
over.
Yeah.
But the mojo and the energy of this team just feels a lot. I mean, they're gelling at the perfect time. They're all locked the fuck in, and you know, your championship round game at home, your last game at home, essentially, and you fucking blow out your divisional rival.
Yeah.
You can't ask for more than that. A historic blowout. Most rushing touchdowns in a fucking game. Most points in the championship game. I mean, the fuck more do you want?
Yeah. Hey, we're good, man.
Oof.
We're ready for not next Sunday, the following Sunday. Ugh. Anyway,
2 Sundays.
I guess I should probably get this over with, and then we can talk about Kellen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was episode 85. I made the bet. Pat was still uber confident the Eagles were going to go 14-3. Mind you, they still had the Ravens, the Steelers, the Commanders again. They still had a kind of tough schedule. And I'm thinking, there's no way. They're probably going to go 13-4, 12-5. I vehemently said that if they do go 14-3 or 15-2, I'll drink a Dixie cup of my own piss live on the pod.
Caw.
This is it. Trevor famously did a piss bet when Donald Trump won Pennsylvania in 2016.
Yeah.
Piss bet number 2. I'll ask you what you thought of the flavor in a second.
All right, here you go.
Go Birds, baby.
It actually wasn't that bad. No, it wasn't terrible. What did you think? You commented it on your video.
I forget how I described it.
You were like, it was tangy.
I said it was like an awful fruit.
Yeah, it was Gillette. Speaking of Jell-O, yeah, I definitely get the tanginess. I don't know if I would say gelatinous. It did kind of taste like a sour fruit, I guess.
Yeah, like a...
When you did yours, was it hot? Because mine's been sitting here for like a half hour.
It wasn't sitting out as long.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe I should...
It was like it's like a hot toddy.
Yeah, maybe I should have let it be hot. If listeners, viewers, you can probably tell I'm a little hoarse from all the hooting and hollering on Broad Street. The warmth of the pee might have actually been better for my vocal cords, but here we are all the same.
Yeah, so we don't get flagged for lewdness.
Well, you're welcome, Dan.
Yeah.
Never forget that. After the Washington game, I said, we're never losing again.
We did lose again.
We did lose again, but I'll tell you what, it held true, though.
Yeah.
But no, I've definitely done worse things. I did 4 shots of 99 bananas on Monday when I was in very rough shape.
Sticking to your guns, though, and doing that shit.
Of course, man of my word. Trevor, I can't reach you. There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
But yeah, I did shots of Malort before. Honestly, they were probably... That was easier than I would say the 4 shots of 99 bananas, given how banged up.
Well, it was clean. I was a proponent of having to be after a long weekend and drinking, to be honest with you, making it real.
Well, I had to drink plenty of water today to make sure, like, I have some sort of a voice to record the pod. I was hoarse,
That's
dude.
very convenient.
You could have given a sample after the championship game and put it in the fridge. That would have been the one to do.
I couldn't have peed in a cup after the championship game. You saw me.
That's true. Your eyes were all closed. You were like, "Oh man, Eagles are going to the Super Bowl."
Yeah, I mean, I got 4 hours of sleep 2 nights in a row.
Yeah,
that'll happen. But anyway,
all worth it for the birds.
Yeah,
Avery, you're a man of your word, and I applaud you for that.
you know it.
Yep. That makes 2 of the 3 on the pod that drank their own piss.
Yeah, you're next.
Don't be looking at me next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get initiated.
Yeah.
Gotta join the club.
Do we want to talk about this?
Well, hold on. Speaking of lewd acts, did you guys see the Jerry Jones?
Go with this.
Freaky ass.
Yeah, let's play this.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
That's
What is his obsession with glory holes?
I don't know.
There's a very low percentage, but it's not 0%.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like something you say to like your.
What does that even mean?
Say something to your girlfriend when you come back after you've been out all night with the boys.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I'm not gonna say it was 0, but it was a very low percentage of smiles and glory holes.
Wasn't he talking
Was
about
mostly
hiring
responsible.
Schottenheimer?
Yeah,
I think he was talking. I think someone was asking about like what do the fans think of this or whatever. I don't know exactly what he was asked. I couldn't find the clip with someone asking the question. I can only find that. But
well, it's confusing.
It might be better out of context.
In the same week, he was like,
very low percentage.
We're taking a big risk here, but we got championships in mind. But if you're saying that there's a very low percentage of smiles and glory holes, that means that you would only want to do that if they're winning games. So it's confusing, man. It's a mixed bag with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
But I hope he lives forever.
I hope he lives forever.
Yeah. I hope he's on Ozempic. I hope he's got that drug that just keeps you alive for forever.
Get him on those, I don't know, those rich people drugs that make them live forever.
Get that man some smiles and glory holes.
Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, I guess speaking of Cowboys coaches, Kellen Moore out for that job.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think's going to happen?
I don't know.
I'm having deja vu.
So the Saints flew up here to do an in-person interview. At least he didn't have to go all the way down. Yeah. So, and I don't know if they're going to want to like talk to him again between now and the Super Bowl. I hope not.
I don't think they can.
Yeah. Is that what it is? The rules seem bizarre. It's wild to me that you even can be like interviewing guys while they're still in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would just be so simple to be like, there's a hiring freeze until after the Super Bowl. Like let's say like 1 week after the Super Bowl. That's enough time to interview some people or whatever.
There's a free agency period.
Because I understand why teams are doing it. Because it's just like like all these teams that are out already. There's like a mad scramble to pick up these guys or whatever. And if you're someone like I don't blame him for wanting a head coaching job. But it's like kind of absurd that dude's got the fucking biggest game ever in 2 weeks and he's like interviewing for a job. I don't know.
I think that
it's just silly the way it works.
I agree with you 100%. I think that there should be a kind of like a freeze as soon as the playoff hits for any coaching, even just being interested in interviewing someone's coordinator or whatever it may be, because it definitely gives an impression of you don't care about the week ahead. At the same time, to Kellen Moore's situation here, I think that I really thought we were on the pod here with Dean and you last week, and you guys were like, oh, this is it. He's going to Dallas. I felt good about it. I didn't know who else they were going to pick. This was out of left field. Brian Sean, I don't think anyone fucking saw that coming. I don't know. I feel like it's a tricky situation to be in, right? I mean, if you're Kellen Moore, you're an offensive coordinator, you would think that your end goal is to be a head coach one day, right? Like that's what you're pretty much an assistant manager. You want to be a manager one day. That's what you're fighting for. However, if I'm Kellen Moore right now, okay, Dallas drafted you. They didn't want you. So there goes that emotional connection there. Maybe, okay, fuck them. If I'm looking at the Saints roster and I'm looking at the Eagles right now, and is it worth it? Is it worth going to fucking coach up Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara on the end, or do you want to keep going with fucking this team?
I guess the thing about it is like you never know when you're going to get another opportunity like that. So but I will say like the Saints job is like ugh. It's
like, one of the worst in the league.
I mean whoever does get that job would not be surprised if they're fired in 2 years.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare situation right there.
Yeah,
and you figure if you spend another year with the Eagles with all this talent, and judging from how that last game went, and maybe they're finally like getting into the the deep cuts of the Kellen Moore playbook, and you have a whole nother year of like really letting loose and showing what you can do. Maybe you can get a better job after that. But again, it's like that's kind of a lot to gamble with. If your goal is to like just get a head coaching job, you're going to want to interview the ones that are available.
The last couple of years, though, the NFL has shown that like they don't give head coaches a lot of time at all anymore. I mean, there might have been a big wave this year of head coaches, but like, okay, they get 1 year. Kellen Moore stays in Philly for 1 more year. By the time he's done winning his second Super Bowl with Philadelphia in a row, then you go make a big leap and go somewhere else. Because by then, you've given fucking Pete Carroll a chance to die. You've given Brian Dabble a chance to fucking fuck up even more in New York. You've given whoever fucking shithead stays in Dallas and gets fired inevitably anyway. Like
Jonathan Gannon might get killed on the Arizona bus line.
There's just not a lot. Like, there's so much room for opportunity here in the NFL anymore that, like, they're not keeping guys around a whole lot.
I mean, at the same time, though, right? Like, his life dream probably at this point is to become a head coach. It's his first opportunity to do so. I mean, head coach is going to make a lot more money.
To win, but you want to be a head coach to win a Super Bowl. But you want to.
But yeah, he's not going to do that here.
As a head coach?
Right. He's not going to do that as a head coach. And I'm not saying he's got a chance to do it in New Orleans, but like, above all, yeah, you want to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. You also want to be a head coach. You want to be able to set your family up financially. You want to make more money. I mean, yeah, New Orleans, the football situation sucks. You're in a division with the Falcons, who have good young quarterback, good running back, good young receiver. They'll probably be a powerhouse in a couple of years. New Orleans, the salary cap situation is awful. Derek Carr is old. Alvin Kamara is old. I don't even know who they have at receiver. It's not a great situation, but it's a situation.
You want this face being your head coach, though?
Not really, but I mean, we're not
what the hell is he going to do in New Orleans,
we're not
the
ones interviewing him.
This guy doesn't want any spice in his gumbo. He's not going to New Orleans.
There's no way. He's not eating.
He's going to be going to the Olive Garden in New Orleans. At the end of the bayou.
He probably is eating those endless breadsticks at the Olive Garden.
I'm just saying, I mean, we're all assuming that he wants to be. I mean, obviously, he probably wants to be a head coach.
He wouldn't interview twice for it if he didn't want it.
I mean, the Saints are kind of doing what the Saints do, and they kind of fucked up. They're like, we got no one else left. We might as well interview Kellen Moore. Like we said, yeah, go for it. But hopefully, it's like you let Kellen Moore see if the grass is green on their side and get a head coaching job, go for it. But if I'm him, the way the NFL has been moving right now, I think it's pretty easy for him to just be like, you know what, come talk to me next year after I get this shit done right now. Get it done again next year. You're gonna hire some fucking other scrub, and then we'll figure it out. I don't see. And NFC South isn't necessarily super open either.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like, plenty of coaches has done just that. Like, Ben Johnson did it last year, and he ended up in Chicago, which, yeah, he has Caleb Williams, but that's not a great situation in that division. But, yeah, I mean, he went back to Detroit for a year. They didn't win. He said, I had enough. Cliff Kingsbury pulled out of the New Orleans job because he's like, yeah, I'd rather bide my time. I mean, not every coach is going to think that way. One coach is going to see that as, oh, these guys are dropping out. They're going to be in this hiring cycle next year. This is my opportunity this year to try to get a job. And I mean, for most of the season, if you would have asked me about it, I would have said, yeah, he runs a milquetoast, boring offense. He's not utilizing Hurts the way that he should be. Let him walk. But at the same time, after seeing that offensive performance and that offensive game he called, I don't really want it to happen. And also, I mean, Hurts has been, if, say, he does leave, he'll supposed to be a 6th offensive coordinator in 6 years.
That's true. It's also with that roster, though. Kellen Moore isn't going to be able to fucking scheme up plays for...
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, he's not looking...
He can only... I think if he does stay, he'll only build his stock up better for a better team to make him a head coach. Sure, go take the easy route.
Good teams don't fire head coaches, though.
But go take the easy route and take the fucking Saints job then. If a team really thought he was that worthy, they would have waited around and then picked him up afterwards. You want to go to the fucking last girl that asked you to go to the fucking prom? Or that's available to pay whatever? Come on, that's essentially what it is.
He's getting more money, but hey.
To go first, but your coach, fine, whatever, go. You want to be a head coach one day and make money and not win rings? I think at the end of the day, people that are in the NFL, their main goal for the most part, obviously some guys are in it for the money, but I think for the most part is to win championships. And I feel like if you think you're this offensive guru or a great coach, sure, you want to be a head coach one day, but your same goal, which he will say in that press conference wherever he goes, I want to build a championship contender.
Yeah, which
you can't do in New Orleans right now.
If he has all the confidence in himself that he should, then he might look at it that way. It's probably unbridled, unwarranted confidence, but
Definitely.
I mean, hey, he's for to be his own man, right? He can do whatever he wants. I don't quite want him to go. I don't really quite agree with it, but I can see from his perspective why it makes sense now.
My gut would be that he stays, but we shall see.
Yeah. I mean, they're down to him and 2 other candidates. What the hell, Mike Kafka? You remember him when he was on the Eagles? Yeah, which I think Kellen Moore's probably a better candidate than him.
Oh, easy money.
And I forget who the other candidate is.
He's the number. I mean, he's the number 1 pick. But either way, let's say we lose Kellen. At least we're only losing 1 coordinator this year.
Yeah, Fangio ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so we're fine with that. He'll be there.
At least there's some stability.
He'll be here until he dies.
Yeah.
And I guess the last Eagles point I had is this Jeffrey Lurie Boston Celtics
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did see anything
this?
about that. Yeah. He is from Boston, though.
Yeah. But
Big movie buff up there.
he can't be doing that.
Yeah,
He'll
gonna
be
be
just like
just like
Josh
Josh
Harris.
Harris.
He cannot do that.
That's a lot of fucking money.
It's like $8 billion.
As a solo buyer?
Yeah, I think so. Which
well,
I don't know if he
I don't-
has that kind of money.
no.
He's sitting here selling snowballs.
I think
Dang, how about that?
it feels like
Wild.
it feels like if
They
any
sold out.
Yeah.
You should have
I
just,
didn't buy-
dude. You should have just went there with a shovel and a
I
bag.
know. I wasn't
just-
thinking.
Man, you could have made some money.
I had 4
You
snowballs
could have been
right
selling
there.
bootleg snow for $40 instead of $50. You would
I
have
had all
cleaned
them
up.
snowballs there. I was fucking eating that shit. Damn.
It feels like if anything, it's going to be a part of a group.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, $8 billion.
I don't think he's going to be able to do that on his
He
own.
can't do that and run the Eagles. I don't. Although maybe that's
Is that why he sold part of the team?
maybe that's why.
Shit. Damn.
to free up some cash.
Like, oh, we're building
no.
a stadium, but then they...
But then, like, his son's ultimately going to take over ownership, and he doesn't want to leave his son with some tiny stake, unless his son takes over ownership of both teams. But
No, give his son fucking Boston.
I don't know.
Well, I don't think
I don't
he-
give it,
His
because
son-
then they could tank...
His son's
Hey,
his
hold on
his
now.
son was born here. His son probably take the Eagles. He'll take Boston.
That's how about here's the ultimate plan.
Oh.
He buys
Here
Boston,
we
but then
go.
he makes the fucking dipshit son run the Boston's team,
And run them into the
runs it
ground.
into the ground for years to come. Irreversible damage.
I would not complain about that at all. Tank the Celtics.
Yeah, he buys the Celtics, and all of a sudden they're just like, we need Bronny James in Boston.
It's an $8 billion joke.
Yeah.
It'd be the most expensive joke ever.
Yeah.
But
No, so far that's really just a rumor that Bill Simmons started. And Bill Simmons sometimes, he'll just be talking for the engagement, right? So, I mean, until I see other people outside of Bill Simmons on his podcast saying anything about it, I'll choose not to believe it, but I don't really want it to. I
also,
don't want it to be true.
It could just be interest. I'm sure it'll be worth way more than that the next year. Like,
Yeah.
it's just an offer, or if not, whatever. Don't look too much into it. But some other group will probably want to buy it. Like, if Boston Celtics go for sale,
They are up for sale.
They're
Their owners put them up for sale after the finals last year.
I'm just saying though, I don't. Laurie might be one to throw his hat in the ring there, but I don't know if that makes any sense at all. To be honest with you,
No, I mean, I don't think he should. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense either. I mean, the Eagles.
Also,
Don't-
Philadelphia, you're just asking for.
He's asking to be like
Rift
Josh
there.
Harris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
not
it's
a
going to be
good-
the same thing. No, that's bad energy.
Yeah, speaking of it, I love how the Sixers did not put out any kind of...
It took them until the Eagles were at the game.
they
finally did when they saw the Eagles
They
players
finally
at
did.
the game.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
They finally did.
It's like,
yeah,
what the hell was that all about? Every
Yeah.
other team put it out right away.
I know. Oh, my
Josh
God.
Harris was just sitting there
Salty as
Petty.
shit.
in his booth with his ugly little face, his little hands awkwardly shaking people's hands like, oh, good game, Jeffrey. oh, Howie, great job on the roster. Nah, he's a little rat, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck Josh Harris.
Yeah, it was fun getting those chants going at the Cusk.
Oh,
Yeah, that was hilarious, man. Yo, shout out to the Cusk. What a great environment to watch a game. Like, no disrespect to the other establishments in the city I know we have listeners that work at some of the other fine bars, but shout out to the Cusk, man. What a fun time that was.
Yeah.
Cuskers is a true gem.
Be back
in
there
the city of Philadelphia
for
here.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if you want to catch the Super Bowl with the pod, catch us at the Cusk on February 9th. Probably get there about 2, 3 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of Josh Harris, which we could go to the Devils. The Flyers whooped up on the Devils the other night, although they're getting smoked right now.
They're getting smoked right now, yeah. So much for that. At least they completed the Josh Harris sweep. Just couldn't keep it going for an additional game, but that's fine.
That's all we needed right there. Keep the little mojo
just needed
going.
That Monday night, day after Josh Harris loss. That's very good.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean riding the Zamboni.
Yeah.
That was hilarious,
Like
man.
any generic kid from the Northeast.
Yeah, he really did.
It's so funny whenever they get someone to ride the Zamboni, and it just looks like the most unexciting thing you can imagine.
Are you serious? I would love to ride on one of them things.
Oh, write the Flyers a letter. I'm sure they'll let you.
That would be cool.
They probably... Well, I think what it is I think if you're a season ticket holder, you get put into the lottery, which as of next year is going to cost you a little bit more.
Yeah,
the Flyers raising prices on the because they've been so wonderful lately that they're going to raise the prices. I mean, to their credit, they haven't raised ticket prices in like 6 years or something like that, and it's going to be an average of like $5 more a game, but
over 40 games though.
Well, if you're like a full
up.
season ticket holder, but if you have like a full season ticket plan, then you can probably afford it.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not stressing out about.
Yeah, that's a very tiny Venn diagram of people who
they're like
can afford
true.
afford the season tickets, but like $5 more a game. I was like, this is gonna ruin me.
That's a good point.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like shit gets more expensive.
Yeah, nothing's...
In Biden's America and Trump's America should just be getting more expensive.
Yeah, the time to be alive.
Cost of eggs.
Yo, I seen that. I haven't bought a carton of eggs in a while. How much?
I don't
do they
really
cost
buy
now?
eggs.
They said they're going up now.
Apparently they've been up.
Yeah.
Well, because
how much?
there's also this like bird flu shit.
Now they're only selling about a half dozen for double the price.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was. I remember a while ago. Because I'm not really a breakfast food. I make like a smoothie every morning. I don't really do
You don't ever make breakfast?
Not really.
Eat eggs raw.
Not really, but like a few.
You don't be eating bacon and toast?
Nah, not really.
So
but,
you just have smoothies every day? Doesn't that get boring?
I mean, it's that or nothing. Basically.
Nothing.
In the morning, I'm not a breakfast guy. I was never a breakfast guy. So now I just do the smoothie every morning.
When I go in the office, I only drink coffee. I don't eat.
Y'all don't eat breakfast?
Well, I'll eat something when I get into the office, but I don't eat on the.
But there was
5:30 till 8. I don't eat.
But like a while ago, in the morning, Sprua and I decided to make we had some bagels, and we decided let's go get some eggs and cheese and make little breakfast sandwiches. And I go down to the little convenience store and buy a carton of eggs, and it was $9. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, oh, now I understand what people are complaining about.
That's more than 1.5 pounds of chicken.
Yeah, because my regular groceries, I was like, it doesn't really seem like it's that expensive. I don't know what everyone's so mad about, but the eggs are fucking crazy.
Eggs is nuts, yeah.
I remember it used to be like a $2.50 some shit.
for a dozen.
$3.
Mike is only $5.
Yo,
$6.
that's my spot. You know
Yeah,
it.
but so eggs are expensive. I don't know what the fuck were we talking about.
We're talking about the Flyers
Eggs.
raising prices.
Oh yeah, the economy.
Yeah, yeah. In this
inflationary economy.
But nah, man. Do we even have anything else to say about the Flyers?
I don't think so.
Not much. I mean, Sam Erson's going to be in the de facto All-Star game, which is kind of funny.
But he's going to be the third string goalie, right?
Yeah, it sounds like he's probably not going to actually play at all, which is fine.
He's been hurt 3 times this year.
I don't really need. Yeah,
Good for him. He gets to represent his country, and I hope he doesn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we got playoffs to try and make, even though
we got eggs to eat.
Yeah, that too. Bacon
playoffs to make and eggs to eat.
Yo, bacon didn't go up, right?
Bacon's the same. Pigs ain't got that flu. They're
Yeah,
fine.
that's
They're healthy.
true.
They're all vaxxed up.
Bird flu.
Could you imagine if swine flu came back though?
Fuck.
Yo,
No more ham.
Yeah, no more ham. No more bacon.
Ham.
No more little pigs in a blanket.
Little pork fried rice.
Dude, that's gonna be what happens next. Especially
Then we can just gonna eat spam, which is fine. We can eat masubi all day.
Spam's all right.
I don't think I've ever had spam.
Ham in a can, baby. Scrabble probably still be all right.
Yeah, that's super processed and
You
a bunch of
grind
different
up
stuff.
everything in
Yeah,
there, no big deal.
Yeah,
But
it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like, in the sense that it's not going to kill you immediately. It'll
Yeah.
kill you in the long term.
that should be everything but the oink. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, that's Scrabble's new catchphrase. Everything but the oink.
Yeah.
But I guess we can wrap up with Josh Harris and the Sixers.
Yeah.
Why is
Man, you keep bringing him up, though.
I
This
mean,
whole fucking world revolves around Josh Harris.
when you live in Philadelphia, it kind of does. This
That's
guy, man, he needs to sell the
going into
team.
his head.
Nah, not the piss. This guy just needs to get out of here. What are the Sixers doing right now? Oh, they're up 2.
Last time I checked, they were down by like 7
Yeah, they're up 2 going
against
into
the
the fourth quarter.
Kings.
Yeah, recording Wednesday night. Sixers are up by 2. The Flyers are down 4. It's all good.
Damn.
What do we got to say? Oh, they won 3 in a row.
I know,
Yeah.
they're looking good. I mean, I remember earlier this season, it was kind of like, Maxey doesn't look too good. Wonder what's going on there. But lately, he's been looking really fucking
He's been
good.
looking really good.
Yeah, he's been hooping.
Yeah.
Dropped 43 the other night. That was fucking nice.
He's been averaging like 30-some points a game in this little win
Yeah.
streak
Yeah,
here.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
it's like
has-
him or nobody
Yeah.
at this point, right?
Well, when McCain was heating up too, it was like, all right, we got him and McCain then killing it, and then
Mhm.
McCain went down, then Maxey went down. It was like, well, there it is, everybody. But yeah, it's nice to see Maxey doing his thing.
Yeah, in his last 12 games, he has at least 25 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every one of them. And there's like you said, there's a 43
And that's with
point
almost
game.
a fucking different lineup every time.
Yeah, no, he's been hooping.
You know, it's nuts.
What is this stat I pulled up? This stat from Maxey. So in his last 10 games, he's averaging 31.7 points, 6.7 assists, and 4 rebounds. That's wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when all this without Embiid, with Paul George breaking a finger or whatever, just Maxey's taken over the team, and they actually been playing pretty good. We were watching the game upstairs just a little bit ago. You actually have guys moving around on offense, cutting to the hoop, playing defense, grabbing rebounds. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
where was this 35 games ago?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. And that's with Josh Harris jerking off on the fucking court side.
Oh, he's probably ashamed to show his face in Philly right now.
Yeah, he's got to, like, be under the radar for a little while. Get a dodge for a little bit. And then
Yeah,
slink back in when it looks safe, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, he's hiding out somewhere. He knows where. He knows
In
we don't
the
want him here.
underground bunker.
Pussy.
But nah,
He should have showed up right. He should have showed up right back and just ate it all.
imagine
Yeah.
if he was like driving down Broad Street. That
Uh,
would have been
Oh,
pandemonium.
yeah, it would have been hilarious if he came to the game the other night when all the Eagles were there. You'd be him sitting courtside next to AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Just,
Hey,
Oh man.
good game, guys, but
Yeah.
you ended my season. No, I hate that, man.
They would have
with
killed his
passion.
ass on Broad Street.
Yeah, that was funny seeing Paul George. Y'all didn't see this. He was stuck in
didn't see
traffic
it.
on Broad Street after the
Yeah.
game. It's like, dude,
what
why-
are you doing? Where are you going, man?
It's like you should have known. Like, I mean, I guess he didn't know because he's not from here.
Yeah.
But like, you should have figured like, once you started getting close to Broad, oh yeah, there's a lot of cars out. There's a lot of people out. Like,
Streets are shut down.
yeah, like is there an alternate route I can go? No, I just wasn't thinking about it. And I guess that's what happens. They probably jacked him up on meds because of his finger. He wasn't thinking straight.
It's always a finger injury
Hey.
that gets these guys all fucked up.
Fuck.
You remember when I broke my finger? I was still playing football.
Yeah, you weren't no fucking bitch out here.
No,
you
Paul
weren't
George,
blind to
man.
reality. Derek Hall, Paul George, pussy ass hands.
Yeah, my hands are tough, and that's why my finger's still mangled to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Battle scars, baby.
You're like Brian Balding. Actually, gonna be like this one day.
Yeah.
Point out this way.
Yep. But nah, so I guess speaking of Paul George, this Jimmy Butler stuff.
Yeah. So I heard
What do you think of this?
rumors about it. You know what I mean? They were talking about doing a little trade and send off, but there was also a thing that there's like a gentleman agreement where they said that they weren't going to trade Paul George in his first year of his contract.
I mean, you
It's not written, obviously,
Yeah.
so anything can happen. But like, what?
Yeah.
What's
I
the-
mean, it kind of just depends on what he wants, I guess.
I also
too.
think like, what is it for right now? Like, what?
It would just be straight up Paul George for Paul George to move off that contract for half a season of Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler's going to expect that if you do trade for him, that you extend him, which I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know.
So like, what's the fucking? I don't think it's a smart move to do at all.
No, it'd be stupid.
Again, we picked up PG because we realized we missed the boat on Butler years ago. We gotta get over this shit.
Yeah.
We gotta get over. We broke up. It's over.
It was 6 years ago. He's not the same player.
Delete her number.
Yeah.
Stop following her on Instagram. Burn all the pictures. Throw out her underwear. You gotta move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta stop.
You're
You
right.
gotta stop with this shit.
Yeah.
They got that little shrine in the basement, like a little creep, like, oh my god, what could have been?
with the chewed gum, like from Hey Arnold.
That's what I'm saying. Couple locks of hair.
Yeah.
You know,
It's jacked
They
they
as
got,
Jazz
the, they got the
locks.
old emo hair in there, like, oh man, well, you know, move on. It's over. It's over with.
Stole a bag of that big face coffee he was making in the bubble.
But because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
in an abusive relationship now, you're like, there's a chance I could be the savior again. I could take her back. I could do this. I could be the one.
Yeah.
But don't do it. Don't do it. You
No.
gotta look away. You can't do it.
No, I'm with you on that.
We'll see. Sixers are weak.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean,
It
Seems like it would just be a classic dumb Sixers thing to do.
Yeah.
yeah, if there's one thing we've learned is that the Sixers are, in fact, very weak and very poorly run. Compliments of Josh Harris. But at the same time, I don't know. I would hope that they have enough sense to realize it's not worth it. Yeah, has Paul George been somewhat disappointing? Has he been injured a lot? Yeah, is Jimmy Butler kind of a dog in the playoffs? Yeah, but this team, realistically, they're still on the outside looking in
but
as far
you
as
gotta
making
get
the
to
playoffs.
the playoffs.
You
yeah.
can't say, yeah, we're going to bring him in for the playoffs if you are in 11th place, right? I mean, Jimmy Butler, he was in the play-in last year and he didn't make it. Guess who beat him? The Sixers. And then, well, no, he did. He was in the playoffs, but he sat out the whole playoffs because he got hurt. And he's just not the same player he was. I mean, those days of him in the bubble going off and then against the Celtics, those days are gone. He's my age. He's like 2 days younger than me, straight up. He's my age. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think I have anything else on the Sixers.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing but it's
Embiid.
funny. Yabuselli was at the Eagles game.
Oh,
the other
yeah,
day.
yeah,
that
was
was
funny.
In the crowd, which was great.
Yeah,
to
he was
see,
just
yeah.
he was just
Yeah,
like
he wasn't in a suite or anything.
Yeah, he was just totally incognito. Just like he just bought a ticket off StubHub and
Yeah.
just fucking.
a man of the people, baby.
Yo, imagine
Yeah, I
you're
love that.
sitting behind him, though. He's 6'8", 260 pounds. You ain't seeing nothing that game.
No,
He's standing up, smiling the whole time. Good luck, man. You're not seeing anything. But it seemed like he enjoyed himself. That was funny. Did you see on Twitter? He was asking about the Frankie Louvu hopping over the line of scrimmage. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I genuinely don't know what's wrong with this play. Can someone explain it to me? It's like, yeah, he's from France. He doesn't know American football like that.
Yeah,
He's from France. He's an idiot. Someone explain this shit.
Nah, shout
that's
out to
great.
him. He's been playing great, too.
It was such a funny picture, too. He's like by himself.
Yeah,
Just like,
just a big grin on his face.
yeah,
Nah, he's a good dude, man. If they do trade him, I'm going to miss him.
yeah.
No, I think that's it. I was going to ask if Maxey should be an all-star, but I think we all kind of agree that he should. I don't know if he'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like playing time would have.
No, he's played like he leads the league in minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the NBA doesn't have the thing like in MLB where each team has to have one.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Might not make it. I
Yeah,
don't.
based on team record, he wasn't.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we got anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking, you guys heard about this DeepSeek shit?
The what?
Who?
The Chinese AI thing?
Oh yeah. Well, it tanked. So
it
yeah,
like
I did
fucked
see
up the
that.
whole
What?
stock market, basically.
What is this?
So the Chinese came out with their own version of like,
Chat GBT or something.
yeah,
like that.
basically their own AI, whatever they call it, program or
You got like what's
thing.
it called? Google has Gen AI,
Gemini. Twitter has Grok.
and then you got Chat GBT or whatever,
yeah.
and then
But
China
then
made
China
their own thing.
came out with one, and it's like, yeah, this is way the fuck cheaper than all of those, and they made it open source,
And
so it doesn't cost it. Yeah, and
because it was less of the what the fuck they all
They
getting
all
all mad
burn a
about
ton of
all those
energy.
chips or some shit like that. All these crazy chips.
Well, isn't that the beef with AI that they all burn a ton of energy?
Yeah, but they needed these like
part of
chips
it.
or something like that. They were like, we don't need any of these. We can do without it.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get
And
the
it
whole
fucked
story,
The whole stock market.
but
up.
basically, yeah, it because I mean, so much of the like the tech stocks and all this stuff has been poured into the promise of AI, like NVIDIA, like there's a company that makes that, like they make the chips for the AI shit, and their stock like fucking tanked. So yeah.
But then the next day, it did go. Then the next day, NVIDIA did hit a like record high of.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand.
They bounced back. I don't understand, how
this
like,
shit.
They lost like 20%. They're like, oh my god, NVIDIA is gonna. This is crazy. This Chinese company just altered the fucking stock market. And NVIDIA was like, yeah, that sucks. The next day, they saw it went up like 300%. It had like the record breaking, bounce back. But China's on some. They're on to something here. First, that whole fucking TikTok shit. Now the whole chip game. They're tweaking with something over here.
Hey, they're trying to get back at us. Well, not us personally. I mean, we support China.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we're ready to join the PLA.
We forgot to wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year.
Yeah. We just had some Peking duck today. That's why I was in Chinatown for a minute.
Oh, word! You went to Sankey still open?
Yeah,
they opened back up.
Oh, that's what's up. Nice.
So good. Delicious.
Yeah, I take that up. Mm-hmm. I live like right by there now.
Yeah, so. You're missing out, dude.
Slamming, I will say, but we didn't get steamed. I was hoping we get a little burnt. So, but we didn't.
Yeah,
it's still Lunar New Year. Yeah, you can go back.
That's why they got shut down for a hot day.
Yeah. The steam.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, China's popping off.
Yeah, I heard it last night. I was like, damn, people are still celebrating the Eagles game on Tuesday? I'm like, what is that? And then I'm like, oh, that's coming from the area of this city where there's gunshots sometimes. Are those gunshots?
The year of the snake. Hannah's the year of the snake.
I am too. 1989.
They're the year of the snake
Shout out my year. Yeah, shout out to my year.
I'm a dragon.
So it was your year last year.
Last year, I think. Yeah, it was the year of the dragon.
What's your year?
I think I'm a pig, but I don't know.
I think we talked about this before. You're right. Yeah, I think you are a pig.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the literal sense, obviously.
The good kind.
I'm a clean pig.
If you were well, you might still have to look out for swine flu.
Yeah, dude. That bird flu shit's fucked, man. I'm like kind of afraid to buy chicken right now.
What?
Yeah, when's the last time I bought chicken?
I don't know. They've been finding it in the chickens.
We
just pulled out some chicken from October.
Chicken flu.
Well, we should be all right.
Well, that I'm sure doesn't.
Yeah,
it's fine if it's
Plus, that was a few months ago. You're probably good. Damn,
Yeah.
when did I last buy chicken?
Well, we just had a duck. Fuck.
I guess that's also a bird. I don't know. I think
that is a bird. What do you mean it is a bird? You think it is a bird?
Yeah.
Nah, we should be all right.
They don't fly.
They get it from Long Island, though. They said they get it from a nice spot in Long Island.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, where are the chickens coming from?
I think there's been one confirmed case in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, in Lehigh.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah, not Philly though.
Yeah.
Lehigh makes sense. They probably eat some fucking
I don't know. I feel like I can survive the bird flu.
That's because Lehigh probably had some fresh yard range. They probably grew these chickens in their backyard. Some weird fucking Bucktown shit to do that with. Not this.
Yeah, not following all the protocol.
City chickens.
Not city chickens.
City birds don't get the bird flu.
Yeah. I guess they probably have built up immunity from all this stuff living in the dirty city. That's a good point.
Our chickens are out here smoking Newports, so we're fine. We ain't doing this shit.
Drinking leftover beer, eating chicken, fried chicken. Yeah, these chickens are beast mode, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review after you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning.
Shayshawn Barkley. I swear Shayshawn Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants and now the Eagles got Shayshawn Barkley. Lord have mercy, man. All to the Eagles, man. Yeah. All to the birds.
All to the birds.
All to the birds. Good night.